Hello, I am Esther. Today I'm going to prepare some gnocchi using the squash. Gli gnocchi di zucca are a typical dish of the beautiful city of Mantova in Lombardia, and it is known that they were prepared in the 17th century by the cook of the Duke of Mantova, but probably the recipe is even older. There are different ways to prepare it. Some use potatoes with the squash, others add eggs. I'm going to prepare it in the simplest way, just squash and flour. I wash the squash because I will remove the peel when they are cooked. Now I'm going to remove the seeds and cut the squash in pieces. I'm going to put the squash pieces on a baking tray covered with baking paper. I'm going to cook the squash in the oven at 180 Celsius degrees, that are 356 Fahrenheit degrees, for about 30 minutes, but I suggest you to touch it with a fork to see if it is cooked enough. Let the squash cool down enough not to burn your hands. Remove the peel and then squeeze it with a potato masher or a fork or whatever tool you have in your kitchen. For this recipe we will need about 600 grams, that are 1.32 pounds, of cooked squash pulp, and 400 grams, that are 0.88 pounds, of all-purpose flour. But these measurements are indicative because you may need more or less flour. It depends on how wet is the squash pulp. Just add the flour a little bit at a time. What it is important is the oh mamma mia. It is important the consistency of the dough, that has to remain sticky but enough consistent to be worked. Don't be tempted to put too much flour, because the less flour you will add, the more tender they will be. I almost forgot to say that I add a pinch of salt and some nutmeg to my dough. This is the right consistency, you see, it's very soft and sticky. Now I'm going to flat down the dough because it will be easier to make the gnocchi. To not make the gnocchi stick, I am going to use remilled durum wet semolina, but even the flour is okay. I'm going to prepare a tray with some semolina, and then I will cut a strip of dough, roll it a little bit with some semolina, and cut the gnocchi. You can use a knife if you don't have this tool. I don't know how it is called in English. In Italy we call it tarocco. Put carefully the gnocchi on the tray because they are very delicate. Be careful that they don't touch each other. I'm going to cook the gnocchi in boiling salty water. Meanwhile, I'm melting some butter with some leaves of sage for the seasoning. The water is boiling. I'm going to use a towel to put the gnocchi in the water because it is better not to touch them. The gnocchi will be ready when they float to the surface. Remove it from the water and put it in the butter. To make a creamy seasoning, add a little bit of cooking water and move the pan. I cooked just one tray of gnocchi, the other two are in the freezer, and I'm going to cook them in a second time, just adding them to boiling water without defrosting them. Gli gnocchi di zucca al burro e salvia are ready. Just add some Parmigiano Reggiano at your taste and enjoy it. Bye!